So now when you go down to the nether, they have piglins there, and they'll attack you if you're not wearing anything gold. But you can also scare them away with the campfire you make from the soulstone blocks.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, the update is sick.
Do you know what he's talking about?
Oh, no, not really. But your enthusiasm is amazing.
I know.
Oh, hey, time to start the video. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you've all had an amazing week and you are ready to dive back into our series on the Sermon on the Mount. Now, if you're new here, first of all, welcome. Thanks for coming. Second of all, the Sermon on the Mount is a sermon that Jesus taught at the beginning of his ministry. You're going to find it in Matthew, and it talks all about how to be a disciple of God. And we've already learned some really great things. Like last week, we learned about giving.
We learned that we shouldn't give for attention.
That is exactly right. We learned that when you're giving to others, it should be out of love and not for attention or to make yourself look better. Well, today we're going to skip ahead to the beginning of chapter 7, where Jesus talks all about judging and why it's a bad thing.
Order! Order! Objection! Objection over here!
How do you people keep getting in here? Can I help you?
I am the Honorable Judge J. Farnsworth, Justice of the Peace, since '07. What is this I hear about Jesus saying I shouldn't judge? Is he trying to take my job?
Oh, no. That's not what Jesus was talking about, Your Honor. What you do, judging right from wrong in the justice system, I mean, that's one thing. But what Jesus was talking about is judging or making assumptions about the people around us on a more personal level.
Oh, well, I do that too.
Wait, what?
Well, yes, all the time, don't you? I mean, let's look at these three individuals over here. Now, see this young man? Well, he is up to no good. He is never going to be anything but trouble, and we should keep our eyes on him. And over here we have a self-absorbed talk ticker who does nothing but think about herself and nobody else. And this young woman, well, look how she's sitting there by herself. Clearly, she's very stuck up and doesn't want to be friends with anyone. See, it is very easy.
Okay, I understood that part. I mean, it is very easy to judge the people around us, but it still doesn't make it okay. Here, let's look at what Jesus said about judging other people. At the beginning of chapter 7, Jesus warns the people that if they judge others, God's going to judge them. And then he goes on to say, how can you possibly help someone who has a tiny speck of dust in their eye if you have an entire log in yours? Well, hey, it looks like you got something in your eye.
Yeah, I think I got some dust in it.
I better take it out for you.
Oh, that'd be really nice.
Ah! You know what? Don't worry about it. Seriously.
What?
I know, another Jesus illustration that's a little weird, so let me explain it. Jesus was saying it is not fair for you to judge other people when you yourself are not perfect. Nobody is. So instead of pointing out the sins and faults of another person, you should focus on yourself and make sure you're doing your best to love God and serve others. The only thing perfect in this entire universe is God, and that's why God gets to be the ultimate judge. Another reason why God is the ultimate judge. We've talked in here before about how God knows what is truly in our hearts and what we're really thinking and really feeling. And that's true of everyone else around us. It is so hard for us to know what someone is really feeling deep down inside, or what they're really thinking, or what they've been through, or what they are going through. Only God knows that. And that's why he gets to be the judge, not us.
Well, exactly what are you trying to say over there?
What I'm saying is people have stories, and we don't always know the stories of the people around us. So when we make assumptions about others based on what they look like or what they're acting like, that's a bad thing because we can't see the big picture. Here, try these. These are some special glasses that can help you look a little bit deeper. Okay, now let's look at those three individuals from before. That young man from before, turns out he doesn't have the greatest home life and he feels like nobody loves him. So he's not acting out because he's a bad kid. He just has a lot of emotions and he doesn't know how to express them. That self-absorbed YouTuber. Turns out she just heard a really great lesson all about giving and has changed her entire attitude. She's texting her neighbor right now to see if she can bring her some groceries.
Is there anything else I can bring?
And that stuck-up girl sitting in the corner? Turns out she's just very shy and awkward and doesn't know how to talk to people she doesn't know, so she ends up sitting by herself in the corner being self-conscious. People used to think this about me a lot growing up.
Well, I will admit that is very interesting. I mean, we don't always know what people are going through. I guess you're right. But if someone doesn't have an excuse, then I get to judge them all I want, correct?
We were so close. No. I mean, it's true. You're gonna meet people in your life that know better or don't have a good excuse, but they just choose to be bad or do bad things. And that is very frustrating, but still doesn't give us an excuse to judge because, like the t-shirt says, hope is for everyone. There's a story in Luke where Jesus meets a man named Zacchaeus. Now, Zacchaeus was not a very popular person in his town because he was a tax collector. So not only did he work for the Romans, but he did what a lot of tax collectors did at that time. He would cheat people out of money and then keep the extra for himself. He'd actually made himself quite wealthy doing exactly that. Well, one day, he hears that Jesus is in his town and he really wants to go meet him. So he goes out to see Jesus, but there's a problem. Zacchaeus was kind of a short person, so he couldn't see Jesus over the crowd. So he did the only logical thing. He climbed a tree. Zacchaeus climbed to the nearest tree, and when Jesus saw him, he walked over and said, "Zacchaeus, come down, let's have dinner." At Zacchaeus' house, Jesus sat and ate with him and talked with him. And after that, Zacchaeus was a totally different person. He vowed to give back the money he stole plus extra. He completely changed. We need to remember a few things, people. First of all, God created every stinking person on this planet, and he loves all of them. I mean, every single one. No matter what they do or who they are or how badly they break his heart every single day, he still loves them. He wants them to come back to him, but he never gives up on them, and we shouldn't either. And also we need to remember that God has the power to change someone's life if they let him. Like, completely change. Like 180, like not even recognize them. Change.
Now, are you sure about that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at Paul.
Where is he?
Hang on. Now, we've talked about Paul in this classroom before. Remember the guy who devoted his life to traveling around teaching people about Jesus, that went to jail a bunch of times for his faith, that changed people's hearts everywhere, that started churches and ended up writing most of our New Testament? Well, what if I told you that he didn't always love Jesus? What if I told you that he hated Jesus? What if I told you that he hated Jesus so much he hated anyone who followed him and would have Christians arrested and killed? He was basically a murderer. Christians were terrified of him. But then God changed his heart, and Paul ended up doing the most amazing things to spread the gospel around the world. It's just an example that even the worst person you can think of could still end up doing amazing things for God's kingdom.
Well, that is a beautiful story. I never knew all of that about Paul.
I know, isn't that crazy to think of? It's just another reminder why God is the ultimate judge and not us.
Well, consider me convinced. I will do my best to make sure that I am loving people the way God wants me to.
That's great. Keep doing what you're doing in the courtroom. Outside of that, just keep loving people and let God figure out the rest.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Order! Order in the court! I'll have the chicken. That's a little judge humor for you. Well, I'll see y'all later.
Huh. Sermon on the Mount. Good stuff, huh? What did you guys think of today's lesson? I can't believe Paul was so mean. Yeah, I had no idea. Just kidding, I already knew that.
It's like in Minecraft, the iron golems look really scary, but if you make them your friend, then they'll protect you.
Can't argue with that, literally. Let's give away some ice cream. I'm over here by Yoda's head. Let's hope it's not empty today. I wrote a theme song. All right, so last week we gave Miss Heather some ice cream and she really appreciated that, but I don't want to do it again. So I really hope you guys made videos of yourselves saying our verse of the week, and I really hope that your parents posted the videos on FCC Parent Group on Facebook. And I really hope that I wrote your names down and put them in Yoda's head so I could draw a name and give you ice cream. I really hope. Let's see what we got. Please don't be empty. Please don't be empty. Please don't be empty. There's names in here. Yay! All right, let's see who our next winner is. All right. Isaiah, great job. I knew I could count on you, man. All right, your verse for next week is Matthew 7, verse 1. So keep those videos coming, and let's see how creative you can get. Are any of you rappers? I mean, now's your chance, people. Check out this Wednesday where we talk to Mr. Ben in our Leader Spotlight, the first grade girl's favorite teacher. Just kidding, Miss Christina. I love you guys so much, and remember, until we meet here, keeping the church there. I'll see you guys next time.